Welcome to the Reading Comprehension section of MrNussbaum.com. This is probably the most popular section on MrNussbaum.com, as more than 1 million reading tests are taken every month by students across the world. So we have, these are mostly informational text passages and question sets, though we're starting to open up and develop other types as well. As you'll see here, we have passages for grades 1 and 2, grades 3, grades 4 and up, and grades 5 and up. And we also have those that focus on specific comprehension skills like main idea, sequencing, vocabulary, and details. So let me start off by showing you an example. I'm going to show you the redwood trees example right here for grades 1 and 2, and I'm going to show you an example for older kids. So let's click here. These are super easy to use. So the idea is that they mirror the same reading comprehension passages that are mandated on state tests. And you see here, these all have the same format. On the left side is a reading passage, and on the right side are questions. You'll see for the younger kids, most of the time there's only 5 questions, the majority of which are multiple choice, but we also have short answer sometimes, or multi-select. For the older kids, there's almost always 10 questions. So anyway, what students do is they'll read this text here, and of course, they'll answer the questions. So, first question says, how many people come to Redwood National Park? I'm going to click almost 1 million, and they get immediate feedback. Okay, they have completed so far 1 of 5 questions. The only thing they have to do is click the next question button. They can also click the show all question buttons so they can see all of them at one time. Redwood trees grow where it is cool and misty. Next question. Redwood trees can, and so students would look at every response and they pick the best one, which is A, live a very long time. Next question. Blank redwood trees can grow to over 300 feet tall. It's old redwood trees. And finally, the author seems impressed with redwood trees. And these questions will shuffle. So the next time, if a whole class is taking them, for example, question 1 for one student would not be the same for another. So these questions shuffle. So anyway, my score is 100%, and I've completed the exercise. So it's good practice, really good practice. And there's so many of these, so you can continually have kids on the computer and expose them to different passages. So I'm going to go back now. And let's try one for older kids. I'm going to go down to grade 4 and up. You can see if I go all the way down there, there's so many of these. Grades 5 and up have 66. Some of them are interesting topics too, like the history of donuts, the history of Jell-O. You see Jackie Robinson. These all relate mostly to science and social studies. Penny debate, keep it or get rid of it. But let's go up here because these take a long time. And let's do the Arctic fox. So if I click here, obviously a science topic. This one will show you some good variety in the question types. So as you see here for the grade 4 and up, the reading passage is a bit longer. And on the right are the questions. It says, what does the word insulate mean in the sentence below? Okay, so that's a contextual vocabulary. Now if I miss one of these, okay, I can't get a final score. I can only get my final score after I correct all of my errors. And the final score will take into account the fact that I did not get certain questions right the first time. So what does insulate mean? Let's get this one wrong. Let's say it means to catch. So it says not perfect yet, please try again. I know then that means insulate means to protect. And I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just want you to see the different question types. Complete the analogy. Vixen is to fox as a lioness is to a lion. Where would I find information about threats to the Arctic fox? Well, here the student will have to really read this pretty carefully, which is not true about the size of an Arctic fox. And so through our reading comprehension passage, we have a lot of questions that require students to figure out which of the 4 multiple choice questions is not true. What do Arctic foxes do when food is scarce? If an answer to a question is 5 to 8, what is the question? And that one flips it around for students. Populations of Arctic foxes rise and fall according to, that's just an informational question. How often do Arctic foxes eat snowy owls? Another informational question. What is the main prey of the Arctic fox? Another informational question. And again, you have a second, which is not true about Arctic foxes. So this is just a second example of reading comprehension passages. You'll see lots of, if you do a lot of these, you'll see they come in different colors. There's different question types. For example, sometimes you'll see short answer questions, and sometimes you'll see multi-select questions. Some of them will have highlighters. We don't have these in all the passages, but for some of them, a little bit less than half, students can highlight text. As you see in this particular one, they cannot. And so that's just a brief introduction to their online reading passages on MrNussbaum.com. One thing that might interest you, if you subscribe to Mr. Nussbaum Extend, you can do a lot more with these type passages. The passages record scores. They show you for each student what question is correct and incorrect. And you can even make up your own, which is very popular, or you can use those made by other teachers. So for Mr. Nussbaum Extend, that costs $18 a year for an entire class, which affords you 3 different classes and up to 120 students. And those students can log on from home or from school on an unlimited basis. But the ones you see here on MrNussbaum.com are free. You can use them on an unlimited basis with your class. You can use them at home or school. So anyway, I hope you find this video useful.